Good morning, Torrington. I'm Eric Starkey.
And I'm Crystal Albers. It's Thursday, June 1st.
We're already into June.
Yes.
Hard to believe.
I agree.
But you're watching Torrington Today.
Well, in yesterday's paper, actually, you can read all about the graduations, Memorial Day. There's a story in there about the felony rundown, local felonies from the past couple months, as well as a rabies story. We've got a lot of stuff in there. Tomorrow's paper, you can see a story about the rock shop owners. They're currently looking to get out of that, but they've built that business up over more than 50 years, and I spoke to them yesterday.
That's quite a long haul.
Yes, and they build it from the ground up, even digging their own rocks at first.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's dedication.
Yes, it is. So, and there's also a lot of end of school pictures in there, so I guess feel free to just spend a whole afternoon looking at the papers this week.
Yeah, I can't believe it's summer already.
I know.
You said June 1st. I thought we had to reshoot the video or something. Well, I guess we are into summer because now we're into summer sports. The Tigers have been in action. They've had 10 games so far this season. And in yesterday's paper, you can read about how they did last week. Despite the rain, they got in 2 doubleheaders, Thursday and Friday. It rained both nights, but they still got in four complete games. They went 2-2 in those games. And then for tomorrow's paper, you can read about how the Tigers did last night. They had a home doubleheader against Gillette, and they lost both games, but they held a lead in both. So it's one of those, you just got to figure out how to close those games out to get the wins. So we'll definitely see if they can come around this season. But
sounds good.
That's like I said, summer sports are here.
Yep.
Little League started last night, so you can read about Little League in tomorrow's paper. They were scheduled for 2 other, I guess, opening nights, but both of them were canceled because of weather. One was rain, the other was snow.
Wow.
So,
we're in Wyoming.
Now that that's out of the way, even last night there was a weather delay for thunder and lightning, but we finally got some Little League action in, so you can see that in tomorrow's paper. And also in tomorrow's paper, Logan Harris, you might have heard of him.
Nope.
Especially recently, but
I'm just kidding.
Logan Harris has had a pretty stellar high school career. You can read about kind of his journey throughout high school between football, shot put, and discus. And one thing I learned is he holds 3 different lifting records for Torrington High School. So a well-rounded athlete and a well-rounded man. So you can read about Logan in tomorrow's paper.
That sounds great. Well, in upcoming events, we have the Class Act Cut-a-thon is Friday, tomorrow. That's always a big event, and it raises money for local charities. I believe this year is Wagon Tails, so either way, if it's not Wagon Tails, go get your hair cut. I believe it's usually a $20 minimum donation, but it goes to a good cause, and it's a lot of fun. They usually have a bounce house or face painting or bake sale. So.
Well, it's also a big weekend in sports. I mentioned we're into summer sports, but there's a bit of winter sports this weekend. There's the Panhandle Prep All-Star boys and girls basketball games, and those are in Scottsbluff on Saturday. The girls start at 5:30 and the boys are to follow. So if you want to get your last look at the area seniors, you can head over there. Kaylin Jefferson and McKenna Greenwald from Lingo Fort Laramie will be playing in the girls game, and Tyler Ring from Torrington will be playing in the boys game. So you can go check out some basketball and root on your local basketball stars. And then if you want to make a drive south instead of east on Saturday, I'm directionally challenged, but I figure it out. If you want to head south to Cheyenne, the Torrington Twisters 14 and under team has a tournament in Cheyenne this weekend. On Saturday it's pool play. They have games at 8 and 9:30 in the morning, and then they get back to action at 3:30 and 5 in the afternoon. So that's quite a long day, or you can make the drive for 2 games if you want, because it's kind of 2 sets of 2 on Saturday, and then the bracket play will be on Sunday. So pretty big events happening in sports this weekend. Little League is tonight if you want to make your way to the sports complex for that. In weather, it's going to be a pretty good couple days to go get your hair cut or go to some softball games. Today's high is 85 degrees. I almost said
Don't
58 degrees. We'd be back in February with 58. Well, maybe February. I don't know. It's hard to say around here. Today's high is 85 degrees. Tomorrow we're down to 82 and partly cloudy, but then the sun comes back out for Saturday, and we're up to 83. So
Toasty.
we're in the 80s, and then on Sunday we're looking at 88, and looks like 80s for the next week or so. But we might get some rain early next week, so that's something to keep your eye on.
Good weekend to plant your garden if you
Yes.
haven't already.
That's a very good point. Well, there you have it, Torrington. Get your trowels and knee pads out. I'm Eric Starkey,
I'm Crystal Albers.
and you've been watching Torrington Today.